What was the biggest challenge the United States faced during the early days of the Cold War? Picture this: a world divided, a formidable Iron Curtain, and an elusive enemy. The Cold War, a time of tension and uncertainty, was marked by a high-stakes game of intelligence and counterintelligence. The United States, relatively new to the espionage arena, was up against a seasoned opponent, the Soviet Union. The Soviets, veterans in the spy game, had been honing their craft, learning from past mistakes and continuously improving their spy aircraft. The Americans, on the other hand, were struggling to gather vital intelligence on Soviet missile programs. The Iron Curtain was proving to be an impenetrable barrier, and attempts to establish intelligence networks behind it were often met with swift and brutal retaliation. Local collaborators, British and American spies alike, were falling into the unforgiving hands of Soviet counterintelligence forces. The stakes were high, and the Americans were losing ground. They needed a game changer, a solution that would give them the upper hand in this high-altitude game of hide and seek. The United States had a demanding project at hand to develop an aircraft that was fast enough to outrun missiles, high-flying to evade radar detection, and stealthy enough to slip past the vigilant eyes of Soviet counterintelligence. They needed an aircraft that could penetrate the Iron Curtain and return safely with crucial intelligence. While the Soviets boasted superior rocket scientists and engineers, the United States had its own ace in the hole. American talent was unmatched, and among these brilliant minds was a legend in the making, Kelly Johnson. Johnson, with his innovative thinking and bold approach, was poised to change the course of the Cold War. He developed the U-2, a slow but incredibly high-flying aircraft, capable of entering Soviet airspace undetected. However, this bold move would soon reveal a chilling truth. The Soviets were not as far behind in fighter jet and radar technology as the Americans had believed. The Americans needed a solution, and fast. Enter the legend Kelly Johnson. His creation, the U-2, was just the beginning. His genius would soon give birth to a monstrous beast that would leave the Soviets dumbfounded. But that's a story for another time. Kelly Johnson, an incredible American mind, developed a high-flying aircraft called the U-2. This aircraft was the embodiment of American ingenuity and resilience, designed to solve a problem that seemed insurmountable: gathering intelligence on Soviet missile programs during the height of the Cold War. The U-2 was a marvel, slow but incredibly high-flying, able to soar at altitudes that were thought to be beyond the reach of Soviet radar and missile systems. Its first mission over the USSR was a daring move, a bold incursion into Soviet airspace that represented the audacity and determination of the American spirit. But the Soviets were not as technologically behind as the Americans had assumed. The U-2 was detected by Soviet radars, a startling revelation that sent shockwaves through the American intelligence community. The Soviets had not fallen behind in fighter jet and radar technology as the Americans had believed. On the contrary, they had been steadily advancing, learning from their mistakes and improving their defenses. Yet, the U-2 initially evaded attack. MiG-17s pitched up their noses to fire at the defenseless plane, only to stall and fall out of the sky. Missiles behaved in the same way, stalling before they could reach the high-flying U-2. For a time, it seemed that the U-2 was invincible, a ghost in the sky that could not be touched. However, this illusion of invincibility was shattered on May 1st, 1960. A Soviet surface-to-air missile brought down a U-2, a dramatic event that signaled a shift in the balance of power. The Soviets had caught up. They had developed the ability to reach the lofty heights where the U-2 flew, and they had demonstrated their ability to strike at will. The Soviets had caught up, and dramatically at that. It was back to the drawing board for the Americans. The downing of the U-2 was a turning point, a wake-up call that led to a renewed push for innovation and advancement. It was a reminder that in the game of espionage and aerial warfare, nothing could be taken for granted, and the quest for superiority was never-ending. From the ashes of the U-2's defeat rose a new monster known as the SR-71, or the Blackbird. A behemoth of the skies, the Blackbird was more than just an aircraft. It was a marvel of engineering, a testament to human ingenuity, and a symbol of America's relentless pursuit of technological superiority. The Blackbird was designed to do what its predecessor could not: fly at unimaginable speeds and altitudes. The aircraft was said to reach a top speed of Mach 3.2 and soar at 85,000 feet in the stratosphere. These numbers, while mind-boggling, were not achieved without overcoming significant challenges. Creating an aircraft that could break the sound barrier 3 times over and fly at the edge of space was no mean feat. The Blackbird needed to be fast to evade missiles, fly high to avoid radar detection, and be stealthy to remain undetected. It required an engine powerful enough to deliver a huge amount of thrust, especially in higher altitudes where air resistance is low, but so is the oxygen to burn fuel. Engineers faced the daunting task of developing materials that could withstand the immense heat generated at such speeds, as well as the sub-zero temperatures at extreme altitudes. Moreover, the aircraft had to be light enough to reach those heights, yet strong enough to endure the physical stresses of Mach 3+ speeds. And yet, against all odds, they succeeded. The Blackbird was not just an aircraft, it was a masterpiece. Its sleek black silhouette became a symbol of power, speed, and technological advancement. It was a clear message to the Soviets and the world. America was not to be trifled with. The SR-71 Blackbird, despite its challenges, was a triumph of American engineering. It pushed the boundaries of what was deemed possible and redefined the limits of aviation. It was a shining example of what can be achieved when brilliant minds are given the freedom to dream and the resources to make those dreams a reality. Official reports stated it could reach a top speed of Mach 3.2, setting a record for the fastest manned aircraft till date. The Blackbird wasn't just fast on paper. In the field, it proved to be an untouchable spy. In the unforgiving expanse of the Cold War skies, the SR-71 Blackbird faced a test of fire and speed. Detected by a Soviet surface-to-air missile during a recon mission, the Blackbird was thrust into a high-stakes chase. The missile, a deadly predator, sped through the stratosphere, its sights locked on the Blackbird. Yet the Blackbird was no easy prey. The pilot, with nerves of steel, pushed the throttle to full. The SR-71 responded, its engines roaring as it climbed to Mach 3.5. The missile, in hot pursuit, was left in the dust as the Blackbird put distance between itself and its pursuer. But the game of cat and mouse was far from over. With the missile still on its tail, the Blackbird performed evasive maneuvers, a deadly dance in the sky. It weaved and twisted through the air, its movements unpredictable. The missile, confused by the Blackbird's maneuvers, was left chasing shadows. This dramatic encounter wasn't a one-off event. The SR-71 Blackbird performed several other recon missions over Soviet airspace, each time leaving the Soviets with nothing but a glimpse of its tail. The Blackbird was more than a machine. It was a symbol of American ingenuity, a testament to the human spirit's unyielding pursuit of knowledge and power. The Blackbird was a phantom in the skies, appearing and disappearing at will. It slipped through the fingers of the Soviet defense like a ghost, leaving them chasing shadows. Each mission was a slap in the face of the Soviet defense, a stark reminder of their inability to tame the Blackbird. Despite their best efforts, the Soviets could never lay a finger on the Blackbird. It was always one step ahead, always out of reach. It teased and taunted them, a constant thorn in their side. And each time the SR-71 made it out without a single scratch, leaving the Soviets dumbfounded. For the Blackbird, the sky was not a limit, but a playground. It danced in the face of danger, laughed in the face of adversity. It was, in every sense of the word, untouchable. And in the annals of aviation history, the Blackbird's legacy is etched in gold, a testament to the indomitable spirit of innovation and courage. Each time the SR-71 made it out without a single scratch, leaving the Soviets dumbfounded. The SR-71 was retired in 1998, but its legacy lives on. This iconic aircraft, known as the Blackbird, left an indelible mark on the world of aviation and the complex chess game of Cold War intelligence. In an era where information was a precious commodity, the SR-71 was the ace up America's sleeve. It was a symbol of American ingenuity, a beacon of technological prowess that soared high above political tensions and physical boundaries. Its impact on Cold War intelligence gathering was monumental. The Blackbird's ability to fly at incredible altitudes and speeds made it virtually untouchable, enabling it to capture invaluable information behind the Iron Curtain. It was more than an advanced piece of machinery. It was a strategic masterpiece that offered the United States a distinct advantage in a time of palpable uncertainty and mistrust. The SR-71's influence didn't stop at intelligence gathering, though. Its groundbreaking design and technology set a precedent in the field of aviation. The principles of speed, altitude, and stealth embodied by the Blackbird have shaped subsequent aircraft design, serving as a blueprint for future generations of spy planes and fighters. Take, for instance, the stealth technology. The Blackbird's minimal radar cross-section was a pioneering achievement that would inspire the development of stealth aircraft like the B-2 Spirit and the F-22 Raptor. Its unique titanium structure, designed to withstand intense heat and pressure, has also influenced modern aerospace materials and engineering. Even in retirement, the SR-71 continues to inspire. Its sleek silhouette and unparalleled speed have made it a favorite among aviation enthusiasts. Its impressive service record and the daring missions it undertook are the stuff of legend, captivating the imaginations of historians, engineers, and aviation buffs alike. The SR-71 Blackbird was more than an aircraft. It was a symbol of human achievement, a testament to our capacity to push boundaries and solve complex problems. It embodied a spirit of innovation and resilience that continues to resonate, pushing us to reach higher, go faster, and strive for the impossible. The SR-71, a testament to American ingenuity, continues to awe aviation enthusiasts even today.